So the Chiefs are leaving Missouri, which is wild because that's about the only good thing in Missouri's Arrowhead, right? I mean, and the Arch, that's pretty much it. I don't know what happened. And Kansas just bought the Chiefs like a guy who's buying a boat that ain't got the money, but he really wants one. That's kind of the feeling I get about the whole thing. Kansas jumped up and they're like, you know what? We'll do this. Arrowhead's been a stadium. They've been over there in Kansas City since 1992. It's a long time. It's a really long time. Arrowhead, I can remember watching Arrowhead in those legendary games with the Oakland Raiders back in the 70s. It's going to hurt not to have Arrowhead. Doesn't make sense to me. But the new thing that they're planning is impressive. They lost their lease. They'll be in that stadium in Arrowhead at least until 2030. Once that ends, they're going to move over to Wyandotte County. I believe I'm right on that, which is in Kansas. And they're building a new practice facility, a whole new venue that's going to have a top on it. And the hope is that they can get themselves in line for Super Bowls. They're going to be out there next to the Speedway and where Sporting Kansas City is headquartered. And the new stadium is projected, like I said, for the 2031 season. Year-round venue, NCAA Final Four. They're looking to get some big-time basketball in there and a bunch of major events. We'll see how that goes. It's funny because Kansas says, we got this. Don't worry, we'll pay for 70% of the stadium, which is bold for a state that's built on wind and dreams. I mean, they ain't got nothing else. What are they paying for this with, corn? I mean, they got nothing. What else does Kansas have? They have corn and a lot of roads that go nowhere. You ever drove through Kansas? I did it once as a joke. Kansas is worse than Texas. It never ends. It just never ends. Rows and rows of nothing but growing stuff. No, they don't have a mall. The only thing they got worth going to in the entire area is in Kansas City. If you get 20 seconds, like 2 miles outside of Kansas City, you're wishing to the devil you were somewhere else. Because then when you turn around, it takes 7 hours to get back to Kansas City. It's unbelievable. It's a hard place to drive. And I looked at this, $3 billion. We're going to move the Chiefs. We're moving the Bears. Who else is moving? And here's the other thing. I don't understand Missouri. I'll tell you why. I was in St. Louis when the Rams left, which was a heartbreaker for the city of St. Louis. And now you're going to lose your other team. You have no one. Does the NFL hate you? I don't understand either because St. Louis can clearly support a football team. Clearly. So why are we not considering if you're going to move the Bears anyway, why not move them to St. Louis? Chicago's, it's St. Louis. Yeah, the crime's about the same. Never mind. Just leave them where they're at. They'll figure it out over in Northwest Indiana. When you get right down to it, Missouri fumbled the Chiefs like they fumbled legalized weed math. The Chiefs leaving Missouri sort of feels right. I mean, nothing's forever except disappointment. Kansas, on the other hand, is so excited about getting the Chiefs and the Chiefs moving there, they're about to pretend that barbecue came from there. Yeah, I know, right? Kansas finally getting an NFL team. Still don't know what to do after 9 p.m. None of them. They got none. Kansas is getting the Chiefs, a stadium with a roof, big events, and it's still Kansas. The Chiefs are moving one state over, which is about as Midwest relocation as you can get. This is less a relocation and more of a really expensive lane change. And finally, the Chiefs moving proves one thing. Winning Super Bowls does not make smarter government. How's Missouri planning to cover the money? Anybody ask yet? Somebody's sitting on a council somewhere with crap. We just lost a lot of money that we counted on. What about the weed money? Is that still not an option? Okay, we're not making enough on weed. I don't know what they're going to do. Bless their hearts. They still got St. Louis. And in other football news, Jerry Jones finally admitted the Cowboys' biggest problem. And somehow he did it without looking in the mirror. Jerry be like, mirror, mirror, on the wall, who's the best owner of them all? Mirror be like, it's you, Jerry, it's you. Fans be like, mirror, mirror, on the wall. Why does Jerry Jones got to be our owner at all? You know, we have not been important since 1995, and Jerry Jones had nothing to do with that because Jimmy Johnson built that team. He ain't done nothing but been an anchor around our necks, like my first marriage. Nothing good came out of it. Nothing good's come out of this experiment either. So you're a great marketer. That don't impress me much. Why don't you try winning football games? See what you can do then. How about stick your nose in something besides coaching? Because coaching is not something you can do, says an angry Dallas Cowboys fan named Bud like the beer, Ford like the truck. Write that down. This dude needs to get somebody in charge and get his fingers out of the business model because he broke it himself. He went on to say in that same discussion, Cowboys management has played a big role in the franchise's lack of success. He said that includes me. No, that's not what happens at all. You told the last coach before the draft that the coach's input would not be necessary because you took care of the draft. Bruh, you took care of the draft? This is your fault. Quit blaming coaches. Nobody wants to coach for you because you're I can't say that. See, nobody wants to coach for you, Jerry. Just going to leave it there. Not one since 1995. We haven't won since 1995. I had a full head of hair and was still capable of getting a date in 1995. You were already too old, Jerry. Come on, man. Let somebody else in the family have a turn at tanking the Dallas Cowboys. You've done all you could do. It's a pretty good life you've had. You realize, of course you don't, that since that Super Bowl win in 1995, the Cowboys have managed just 5 playoff appearances or playoff victories since. 5 since 1995. They also haven't reached the NFC Championship in 3 decades. Let me say this again. The Dallas Cowboys have not reached the NFC Championship game in 3 decades. Meanwhile, Jerry Jones, I think management may have something to do with what broke in the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles have managed to win 6 playoff games, 2 NFC titles, and a Super Bowl between 22 and 24 alone. We can't manage simple stuff. How many years we're going to have a tie on our record, too? That's like kissing your sister. Football games are not supposed to end in ties. Your record is 6-8-1. We suck. Stop allowing ties and quit blaming Dak Prescott. It's you. Look in the mirror and go, I'm the idiot. Look in the mirror, bro. It's on you. Nobody wants to hear it anymore. We're tired of it. Football deserves better. This is America's team. You know we suck worse than the Cleveland Browns. We're more irrelevant than the Cleveland Browns. We are the laughing stock of the NFL. Our division used to mean something. Remember when we battled and we won playoff games and we went to the Super Bowl and all of that? Those were good times. Yeah, I can barely remember it. At my age, you realize people have been born and are 30 years old now and don't even know that the Cowboys were ever a good football team? That's on you. We have such a lineage, and you managed to come in and completely screw it up. And as far as your buddy Stan Kroenke goes, he sucks too. Together, y'all could not have screwed the NFL up any worse. Point is, Jerry Jones continues to look at the fans and say, he said it just the other day. Don't worry, next year's good. The future is bright. Dude, Cowboy fans have been hearing that since dial-up internet. You need to stop. The team sucks. You suck. Sell it. Try something new. Let us win again. I don't know how today turned into all about sports, but our last story is about Jake Paul. No, Jake Paul did not win the fight, but he did win most likely to make this worse online. See, it's all about what you win and what you lose. If you missed this, on Friday night, he had as the YouTube guy will do, and his promotion team, they figured out a way to get him into a fist fight, because that's what he's doing, right? He's a YouTube guy that's turned into a fighter, which is very cool. So he gets into it with Anthony Joshua, and it's a big deal. A lot of people paying big money to be a part of this. When they talked about how much money he was going to make, he said anywhere from $92 million to $267 million. See, poor people like me can't keep a gap that wide. I'm like 15, maybe $20. If somebody asks me about dinner, or if I ask somebody about a dinner place, I say, how much does it cost? Don't tell me 3 stars, $3 signs. No. How much does it cost? Between $30 and $50. Nope, that's too far. I either got 50 or got 30, but there's a heck of a difference. That's $20 more. So is it $30 or is it $50? Make a decision. I can't work with gaps like that. 92 million to 267 million. That's a heck of a gap. You need a new accountant, sir. So he loses the fight. He loses it in Bud Ford fashion. He doesn't lose it like you might lose a fight. He's only lost a couple. He's done real well. Nope. He lost. He got his ass beat. I mean, it was a beatdown of epic proportion. Come out from behind the shed. This was a hurting for certain. Broke his jaw twice. He's going to be sucking everything through a straw from now till Jesus comes. The rest of his life, all that talk is just going to go like this. Because nothing's going to work right. Man, he got a beatdown. Ooh, Lord, it hurt all the way here. What a beatdown. Didn't break my heart. It was kind of cool, actually. Now, how is he going to flex afterwards? Like only Jake Paul can flex. Did you see the pictures on the internet today? If not, look them up. He is sitting in the middle of a plane, a private jet, his jet, with money everywhere. Stacks of money. I don't know how much money. I've never seen no stack of money, but there's stacks of money everywhere. It looked like he robbed a bank. Then there's AR-15s. There's guns everywhere. I mean, I don't know what exactly he's doing. I don't understand when rich people like to throw up guns and all of that stuff together. I'm not against guns. I'm not against rich people. But if I were rich, I wouldn't be screaming, hey, cops, come talk to me. No, sir. You wouldn't know if I got no guns. You ain't going to know nothing about me if I ever get rich. There'll be signs. Let me show you how it's going to look if I get rich. That's right. You ain't going to see me again. Because if I'm rich, I'm not going to be running my mouth about what I got. I'm certainly not going to be sitting showing off all my guns and all my money and flexing because I just made all that money. Because you know who else sees things? Tax people see things too, stupid. You got to dial it back a little, bruh. You got all sewed up. You got beat down hard. I realize you probably hadn't had a thought in 3 or 4 days. You're probably still in there and your brain's going, You don't know what's going on, do you? Son, you're screwing up. Things are going to happen to you. AR-15s and stuff, handguns everywhere, suppressor-style attachments. That's a mistake when you're so, boisterous about everything. Bro, keep some things quiet. It's like being a drug dealer. Why a drug dealer want to drive a Range Rover? That's stupid. You shouldn't be driving a Range Rover. Then they get caught. You pull them over. They had one over there in Missouri, I believe it was the other day. They pulled over. They found 138 pounds of meth. That's a lot. See, that's a problem. If you're going to tote 138 pounds of meth around, that's your business. I can't get in the middle of it. But you can't be driving Range Rovers and things with rims still spinning and things that bounce and all. No, man. You got to get a gray Toyota Camry rental. I mean, it's got to come straight from like Hertz buy rent, buy wreck, whatever they call it. You get that thing home. I mean, it needs to be bare, just hanging on, just looking like everybody else. You should look like John Q. Public. You should have cruise control on the speed limit, not 1 mile per hour over. Radio off, nobody blowing smoke out the window, nothing. Because when you got 138 pounds of meth, how many years is he going to get in prison? Like, he'll never see the light of day again. 138 pounds of meth coming through Missouri. Do you know how many people got carpal tunnel trying to make that much meth? It's shake and bake, and I helped. The whole state must have been working on it. That's a lot of meth. Toyota Camry, you driving around in big Range Rovers and gold wheels. I don't know why the cops pulled me over either. Well, Maybe you were in that. It's Kansas, it's Missouri. We ain't got cars like that. We drive silver Toyota Camrys or try an F-150. No one's ever pulled over an F-150 in the state of Missouri or Kansas. You can't do that because it could be the governor. It could be the mayor. It could be worse, the governor's mama. Nobody pulls over an F-150 in the Midwest. Drug people are stupid. That's why you keep getting caught with crap. That's your own fault. On top of the money that Jake Paul made, he also owns Most Valuable Promotions, so he ended up making money on both ends of the event. Now, I realize his jaw's broke and he can't spend it for a minute, but you know what? It's hard to spend 92 or $267 million on milkshakes and things that come through straws. So it ain't like you're going to be eating steaks. Going to be years where you can eat a steak, man. And you can't chew a good steak. You're going to pop and click and everything. It's going to be all bad. So if you want to check it out, it was about 6 rounds, I believe it was, and the beatdown that he took was absolutely uncomfortable. Nobody should be beat up that badly. Now, despite the loss, he's ready for a comeback. He's like, and when you translate that, Jake Paul, which is ready for a comeback. Although this time, he wants to come back at his natural weight. And he wants to fight an opponent that also is in his weight class because there was a heck of a weight difference this time. You think, Jake, you think maybe that's why when we're doing boxing and the like, we get everybody kind of weight classed out? Now you learn. That's how they do it. Now the question is, would you take that kind of beating for $92 million to $267 million? It's going to be a divided line. I think dudes under the age of 30 are like, sure. I mean, I took one like that at the club on last Friday night. Wasn't no big deal to me. Now, I think when you get over 30, you start thinking, $22 million is a lot of money. That ain't no way to talk, so maybe that's not worth the money. Plus, this is my moneymaker. I can't really afford that kind of beatdown. Then when you get about 40, you're like, there's no way I'm going to let a man hit me for money. In fact, if somebody's going to hit me, I'm going to sue them. That's what lawyers are for. They'll chase the ambulance all the way. Whatever it takes, they'll be waiting on me. That's what you do when you're 40. By the time you're 50, you carrying a lawyer's number with you. You wish somebody would. Like you trying to create your own trouble so that you can get rich quick and retire. Because you see your 401k is a pile. You ain't getting to retirement with that. Best thing you'll do is hope to retire by the ripe old age of 137. That ain't going to work for you. So if you can get something to go wrong and sue, you can get rich. By the time you're almost 60, you're like, $92 million? Listen, if Jake wants to beat me up, I'll do it for $250 in this month's rent. That's all I need. And if you throw in a case of beer, maybe some Modelo's, shoot, he can lower some of the money too, as long as the rent's paid. That way I have a place to sit and drink it. I mean, it all depends on your age. So what I learned from this, the take-home message is Jake Paul turns a knockout loss into a reminder that money won't block punches. He got what he deserved on that one. Speaking of which, sometimes cool when karma goes back and get you out. Speaking of fighting, too. Probably 6th grade. I was in a new city. My parents moved because we were military, moved a lot. Went to a new school. On the bus. First day. Got 2 or 3 girls. Causing all kind of crap. One of them wanting to fight me. I'm a dude. I can't fight back. My mama, man, she ain't allow that. So basically, I just had to let them beat me up until I got off the bus because it wasn't like I was going to do nothing. You ain't going to fight back with a bunch of girls. Doesn't make no sense. About 2 weeks later, Susan hopped on the bus. Her face all the way down, scabbed. And I heard them talking about it on the bus. She was a right pretty girl. What except for her face had a full, scab. And I heard them talking about it on the bus. And apparently she had wrecked her moped. So as I walked by her, it's funny when karma gets you right like it should. I walked right out and I looked at her. I looked her dead in the face and I said, "Hey, Susan, next time, don't stop your moped with your face. Have a nice day." You know, she never talked to me again till we were seniors in high school. And then it was, "Have a nice day, bud." She afraid of me because of karma. Karma, bless you. You can catch the podcast. We're on Spotify. We are also on iHeart. We are on Apple Podcasts, and we're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at Bud Ford Comedy.